Hello and welcome to episode 417 of the Daily Sales Message Podcast, where every single day I share a piece of simple, actionable advice. It's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff too. Now, in today's episode, we're talking about an angle that you can take to sell what you're selling. Hey, it might not work for you, but it's worth thinking about. It's something that not a lot of people do. And I call it protect your investment, protect your investment. So sometimes what you're selling can be positioned as protecting something else, something more expensive that your client, your buyer has paid for. For example, if your company has spent £20,000-30,000 having a brand refresh, having a brand guidelines done, the imagery, your logos, fonts, colors, all that wonderful mood board, cool, good stuff. If you spent the money on that, then it absolutely makes sense that you should invest in your messaging so you're saying the right things. So sometimes with my clients, I can position ClearSale's message as a protect your investment style purchase. Well, if you spent this much on your branding, to get the best out of it, you need to say the right things. So you need to invest in your messaging. Protect your investment. So you spent this on the branding, protect it by spending this on the messaging. The question is, can you position your product or service in that way? What else is your buyer buying? Ideally, it's a more expensive, more pervasive thing than what you do. And can your thing be positioned in a sense of protecting what's already been spent? Some things are really obvious. If you buy a new car in the UK, you are offered a particular special showroom polish. And it's really interesting because in the confines of that showroom, polishing your car costs £300 or £500. It's a special, amazing carbon coating, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of money. Whereas outside of the showroom, if you drove past the car wash place and they said for £300 we'll polish your car, you'd probably laugh at them. But whilst you're in the showroom buying a £50,000 car, protecting that investment with a £300 polish seems like a good idea, doesn't it? So it partially comes down to anchoring also. So the thing that your client spent the money on, let's say it cost £50,000, they've anchored to £50,000. So if your thing is only £500, so it's it's like 1% of the amount of money that you've spent, less, then it feels like a no-brainer, doesn't it? So that's the moral of the story for today. Something to think about. Hey, it might not be possible for you, but it's definitely worth considering. What else is your buyer spending money on that maybe would help you position your offering as something that protects that investment or helps them to get the best out of that investment? Right, that's it for this episode of the podcast. Tomorrow in episode 418, we're going to a coffee shop. And I'm going to explain to you why I don't like a particular chain of coffee shops in the UK. I can't tell you who they are for legal reasons, but I'll explain it all in tomorrow's episode. I just don't want you to copy their tactics, basically, because it's really annoying. It's not the money, it's just the principle. But I'll explain more in tomorrow's episode. If you haven't already, please hop on over to LinkedIn. You'll find me there, James Newell, Clear Sales Message. Connect with me, shoot me a DM, let me know what you like about the podcast, anything you'd like me to cover in a future edition. It's always great to hear from listeners. I was going to say readers then, listeners from around the world. Thank you for listening or watching all the way to the end. I appreciate it. I'll catch you tomorrow for another fast talking edition of the Daily Sales Message.